Hello again, fellow audiophiles. I am Wave Theory, and these are the Effect Audio Pilgrim Noir IEMs. Come on, focus camera. All right, these are, we don't know the official price on these, but these are an under 1,000 US dollar in-ear monitor with a dynamic driver and 3 balanced armature drivers per side. These were sent to me as a pre-release unit to check out from Effect Audio. They have asked nothing in return other than this impressions video and a thorough review and honest review further on down the road when I've had more time with them. Their official release date is the day that this video launches, and that is May 27th, 2004. So the links that you will see down in the description are an affiliate link through Effect Audio, where if you choose to buy these through them, I will get a small kickback. But I will also link to the press release in there where you can read more about this product, and if their website is live by the time I'm able to launch this, then I will also link to that as well. All right, once again, this is a first impressions video, so I reserve the right to change my opinion down the road when I return for the full review when that is ready to go. But for now, let's do shameless self-promotion, and then I'll give you some initial thoughts on the Effect Audio Pilgrim Noir IEM.
Hello. I'm one of the reasons that Wave Theory can't spend all of his money on audio gear. He wants you to know that your support is vital for keeping the channel running. So if you enjoy Wave Theory's bussin' review riz and no-cap review style and want to encourage him to stay in the basement so I don't have to listen to his dad jokes as much, like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also send him a donation on PayPal or sign up for the Patreon. Links are in the description. Now on to the review.
All right, jumping right in with an overhead view here. And again, this is just going to be an impressions video on the sound of this, so I reserve the right to change my opinion here, double down on things, roll things back, etc., because this is not yet a full evaluation. All right, but to look at the unit real quick, and again, these are launching on the day that this video publishes, which is May 27th of 2024. Right, it's pretty simple design, okay, in there. I mean, just it's a plastic shell, with a little bit of design and possibly some venting here on the back. It uses an MMCX connection style in there, okay, so pretty straightforward on all of that. The driver complement on all of these is I think it has a 9.2 millimeter dynamic driver to handle the low end, and then there are 3 balanced armatures that divvy up the frequency range from the bass on up. Okay, and each specializing in a little different area. Now, these did not come in factory packaging for me. This was a pre-production unit, I think. Okay, it did not come in like their stock packaging. Literally, it was just the IEMs and the cable wrapped in bubble wrap and stuck in a box. Okay, so I've tried 2 different tips so far: SpinFit CP145s and then Final Series E. Or on those, I will try some others. With these before the full review. I have preferred the finals, both the fit and the sound on this particular unit. CP145s usually do the best job for me on most IEMs, but I do like the finals on this particular one. And I'll get a couple of more tip types in here to try before the final review publishes. Real quick look at the cable, because Effect Audio is also a cable maker. They sent me a 4.4 millimeter Pentacon cable that's got a nice, like, mostly square weave on it here, and then of course we have like the shepherd's hook style thing that goes around the ear, and MMCX connectors here on the IEM end. All right, the sound impressions that I am about to give you here were informed by using my Cord Hugo 2 with matching 2-Go streamer, and the streamer being an endpoint, a Roon endpoint, excuse me. So lossless and high-res FLAC files served locally over Roon or stream via Qobuz, some local DSD files in there as well. All right, and then to plug in the 4.4 millimeter cable, I got one of these PW audio adapters that goes into the RCA inputs of the Hugo 2, and then gives you a 4.4 millimeter output right there. So I can link into the description where you can get one of those too. All right. The first sound impression that I had on these is that they are pretty smooth. both in a tonal balance standpoint and also from a presentational standpoint. Like there's not a lot of rough edges here. Just everything is pretty well balanced, and there's like, I mean, smooth, right? It's not overly relaxed. Like, it doesn't feel like detail retrieval or resolution or anything like that is missing. It's just presented in a way where it's just kind of laid back, relaxed, smooth, but all appropriately present in there. Now, the sound signature is changing on me a little bit as these things get use. I think some break-in time is required on these. I've been listening to them, you know, for about a couple hours here and there, a couple of times a day for the past 3 or 4 days. And then what I realized, like particularly late yesterday, it was like literally the day before I started filming this, is that it sounded like the sub bass was finally starting to wake up. I was getting some more rumble, some more impact, some more slam, and all of that into the deep bass. And so I'm like, maybe what I need to do is do an aggressive burn-in, or break-in, I should say break-in when you're talking about moving parts. Do an aggressive break-in on these, and so I recently got in an LTA Velo vacuum tube headphone amplifier, which I don't know if that works well with IEMs or not. But what I did is I got a 4.4 millimeter to 1/4 inch adapter plug, plugged this into the Velo, turned the Velo way down, and let the Velo amp tubes and this thing just help each other burn in / break in overnight last night. So these got about 14 hours of fairly aggressive driving overnight last night, and then I had about another 2-hour listening session with them before I sat down to do this impressions video. And yeah, the sub bass was definitely waking up on it. So there is a fair amount of low end presence, rumble, impact here, some good solid impact on kick drums and that sort of thing in the low end on these. So I don't know if they are quite bass head level in terms of amount, but if you like a good satisfactory thump in your low end and some good rumble, these seem like pretty good candidates on that so far. All right, the rest of the frequency range for the most part seems well tonally balanced. I'm not picking up any shoutiness or honkiness in the mid-range. There's really not much in the way of sharpness or sibilance in the treble either. Everything seems pretty well balanced, and the tuning seems like they match pretty close to like one of the Harman target curves out there. I forget which one. You can see it on their website, I believe. Okay, on there, it seems like it hews pretty close to that if that's the kind of thing that you are into here. So mildly V-shaped, I would say, even though the treble is very smooth and all of that, but I don't find the vocal clarity or presence to be lacking at all, even though they are just mildly V-shaped on there. Now, one complaint on the sound that I do have so far is they still kind of sound IEM-y to me. There is a tonal quality, particularly in the upper frequencies of IEMs, where they often just sound a little bit thin and metallic-y to me in an unnatural way. These have a little bit of that. They don't do a super great job of avoiding that so far. I'm going to hold on, I'm going to put a pin in that one and pause on that point, just because that could be a break-in issue. Maybe because, like I said, the bass is waking up. So for the dynamic driver, maybe those balanced armature drivers in there just need a little bit more time. So I'm going to give these another hard driving night or two to break in before I make a full judgment on those. But like they are still IEMs that sound good, and I've enjoyed listening to them so far, but they just still sound like IEMs to me, and I'm just not personally a huge fan like when they just start to sound like that, just thinner, metallic-y kind of treble sound that just so often happens with IEMs, all right, in a specific way. Okay. Moving on from that, though, my initial impressions on like the sound stage is pretty wide, and there's some decent depth to it, and then there's pretty good holography, particularly laterally from pans, you know, left to right and back and all of that. Like, things are placed pretty well in the sound field so far. And then finally, we'll just talk a little bit about comfort. Like with the final E-Series tips, just for my ears, like these worked pretty well. and fit in my ears pretty well and stayed in place pretty well. I thought the spin fits like to slip out a little bit too much, but the final stayed sealed up and stayed in place a lot better and were more comfortable for me over longer periods of time. So far I am overall encouraged by these. I do need more time with them. I'm hoping that IEM metallic-iness, that again, it's not just these. I hear that on just about all of the IEMs on the planet to some degree. It's just a little bit more present on this one than I would like. But we'll see if that fades with break-in, and hopefully the bass continues to wake up, because it does seem to have some fun bass on it. But all that pretty natural vocals and mid-range timbre and all of that on these, though. So I mean, there's a lot to like about these so far, and I'm looking forward to getting to spend more time with them. So there are my first impressions about the Effect Audio Pilgrim Noir IEM that is launched just today. So see my link down in the description, an affiliate link if you are interested in checking these out. I'll get a few bucks back if you decide to go that route. And also I will include a link to the press release where you can learn more about the driver complement, and I think the frequency response curve is in there and all of that too. But please remember to like, subscribe, comment, check out my PayPal, my Patreon. Generally do those things you do to support YouTube channels. And as always, enjoy the music.